Good afternoon, good evening, my YouTube family. Good to see you. Wonderful, wonderful occasion here on this pending Memorial Day weekend. I'm Tanika Maria, your host on the Get Real, Be Healed channel, where I'm all about helping you get real, be healed, and move on in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. And so, real quick, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I encourage you to do so. Definitely hit the notifications button so that you can get notified whenever I go live or whenever a new video is posted. Now, on to today's topic of business. 5 good things that can come from a bad breakup. 5 good things that can come from a bad breakup. A lot of times we don't think sometimes that there's anything good that can come from a breakup. But I'm here to tell you that there are some good things that can happen if you take the time to learn the lessons that your soul needed to learn in that relationship situation. And so this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time for you to learn what you needed to learn. Number one, let's get started. Number one, self-awareness. Self-awareness. What do I mean? You're going to learn more about yourself. There are things about you that you didn't realize that you would have never realized had you not been in that particular relationship situation. There's some stuff that was in you that came out, that showed up, that maybe you weren't even aware that was in you until you went through that situation with that particular person, with that particular individual, with that particular man, with that particular woman, because relationships are mirrors. Relationships are mirrors. A person always, your partner is your mirror. They are going to reflect back to you what's in you. The closer someone gets to you, the closer they can see your flaws. They're going to trigger you. They're going to agitate and touch on those wounds. Come on. And so that relationship is going to show you yourself. That relationship will show you yourself. And I'm here to tell you that there are certain things that you won't know about yourself until you get in the context and until you get into the setting of a close, intimate, romantic relationship. There are some things deep inside of your spirit, in your soul, in your psyche, in your emotions, in your subconscious mind that won't come out until you get into a relationship. And so this is a good thing because see, now you've ended that relationship. If you come through a bad situation, now you can take a look at that. Now you have awareness and you can see something in you that you didn't realize was there, that they triggered, that they touched on you. A relationship will reveal to you the places you're still hurt, the places where you're still unhealed. It shows you your capacity to trust, your capacity to give and to receive love. And this is a good thing. You're going to learn this. And you're not, sometimes you only learn it when you come through on the other side of a bad breakup. So number two, let's keep this moving. Number two, the second good thing that a bad breakup will do for you is it gives you an indicator or a gauge of your level of self-worth, and your self-esteem. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean? Again, a relationship, the person that you're with, the person that you were involved with, the person that you broke up with, that person is an indicator of your self-worth and your self-esteem. That's right. How you allowed yourself to be treated in that relationship, how you showed up in that relationship, what you tolerated and what you went through in that relationship. We attract partners at the level of our soul. It's more than just the physical. We're attracted to somebody that's similar to us in the spirit, similar to us in the area of the soul. So it's deeper than just the looks. If a person is a 7 or an 8, you're a 7 or 8. You're attracting. I'm not talking about physicality. If you're a 5 and a 4 in the level of your self-esteem, you're not going to attract somebody in your life at the level of a 10. And so a good thing that can come from a bad breakup. Hey there, Joanna. Good to see you. God bless you. I see I have someone live with me. God bless you. Amen. And so, a good thing that can come from that bad breakup is just knowing that indicator, that gauge of your self esteem. You attract partners, people in your life, situations, relationships at that same level. And so, you can't outrun or outlive your own level of self esteem. If you're in a relationship and that relationship is reflecting back to you that you took a lot of stuff, you allowed things to go on and you allowed things to happen within the context of that relationship that damaged your soul, that diminished you and wounded you as a man, that diminished and wounded you as a woman, then that's an indicator of your self-esteem. That's an indicator of your level of self-worth. So good thing number two, and it may be very painful to face that, but it's still a good thing. Because I'm looking, within the context of my situation, when I got out of a dead end relationship, I had been divorced from my ex-husband. I waited about a year or so, and then I get caught up in a dead end relationship. Well, at the time, I didn't realize it was a dead end. But looking back in hindsight, and seeing how long I put up and tolerated a lot of unnecessary stuff, how I allowed myself to be strung along, how I kept allowing certain things and overlooking red flags and staying in a strung out situation for so long. When I look back over that thing now, to me, that showed me just how low my self-esteem was. Now, you can have your self-esteem can rise and fall depending on in different categories of your life. So in my work life, I had high self-esteem. In my church and ministry life, serving God, I had high self-esteem. But when it came to that particular situation, I didn't know my worth. We're talking about the good things that a bad breakup can show you about you. So that was number two. It is an indicator of your worth, of your self-worth and your self-esteem at that time. So I want you to look at that relationship that ended and look at that person, and that person tells you about where you were mentally, in your head space, in your heart space, in your soul at the time that you got in that relationship. Number three, the third good thing that a bad breakup will do for you is it gives you the opportunity to reflect. It gives you the opportunity to reflect. Reflect on your role in that relationship. It gives you the opportunity to reflect on the lessons that your soul needed to learn. Because, see, this is really important. You need to use that recovery time wisely, because what you don't recover from, if you don't really reflect and recover, you're going to repeat. What you don't recover from, you will repeat. And to recover, you got to reflect. The good thing, number three, is that bad breakup, that horrible, jacked up breakup, will give you the opportunity to reflect. This is a time for you to take several seats. This is the time to get off Bumble and Tumble or whatever, these Tinder and Bumble and Plenty of Fish and Match and all those, and sit down and reflect. What you don't recover from, you will repeat. So you want to look at your pattern. You want to look at your BS. And I don't mean the curse word. What do I mean? I mean your belief system, the negative belief system that kept you in that dynamic during that period of time. What is it that you were believing? What was your headspace? This is a good thing. Number three, this is the time to reflect. And so I'm going to reflect because I don't want to, if I don't recover, I'm going to repeat it. I don't want to repeat the BS. I don't want to repeat what I was believing, if it was faulty or if it was in error. So what was it? Was it unrealistic expectations? Was it some fantasy that you had in your head about how you thought this thing was going to go? Was it reality was not in alignment with what you thought it was going to be? Did you overlook a lot of red flags? What did you do? What is the belief system that caused you to behave that way? What was the underlying BS that attracted you at the soul level to this person to say yes to that relationship? So remember, the goal of any breakup, when you're ending a relationship and now you're in that period of recovery, the goal is to emerge whole. The goal is to emerge whole. And if your goal at the end of this bad breakup is to emerge whole, then you must take that time to reflect so that you can recover. Good thing number 4, we're coming down the home stretch. Good thing number 4, this is a chance to just see how you showed up. This is a chance to say, God, how did I show up in this relationship? What was I thinking? How did I act? What did I do? Did I shrink back? Did you diminish your voice? Did you not speak up when you were supposed to speak up? Did you talk too much and say stuff you shouldn't have said? Did you hide out in the relationship and play small and shrink because you were scared if you said something that you would lose them and it wound up breaking up anyway? Because see, how you show up in romantic relationships is an indicator of how you probably are showing up in other areas of your life. How you show up here is how you're going to show up there. Ask yourself, okay, God, did I try to control or manipulate things? Did I try to force my way? Did I try to fix them and work on them and control them and try to make it line up to what I thought it was going to be in my head? And I didn't just allow you to show me what this thing was? Did I overlook the red flags? Did I compromise myself? Good thing number 4 is this bad breakup gives you the opportunity to see how you showed up in that relationship. I'm talking tonight on the good things that can come from a bad breakup. So this is a time for you to get honest with yourself, honest with God, get real, and be healed. The Bible says in John 8:32, it's the truth that you know, and the truth will set you free. And I always say it's the truth that you know and do that sets you free. And go to God and pray, God, show me me. Show me me. Open your mouth and pray. No silent head prayer, but open your mouth and pray. Because closed mouths do not get fed. Last time I checked. This is the time. This is good thing number 4. And number 5, all of this ties to your purpose. All of this ties to your purpose, how you show up in relationships, your unhealed areas, your capacity to trust, your capacity to give and receive love, those subconscious triggers, those unhealed traumas that you're still carrying around. How you show up in romantic love affects how you show up in career, how you show up in your calling on life, what God gave you to do in this earth, be it whether or not you're called to start a school, be a cook, be a web designer, preach, teach, write classes, write books, do this, do that, be a fashion designer, makeup, or whatever God called you to do. How you show up here is an indicator of how you may be showing up there. It's all connected. And so if you're shrinking back and hiding your voice and not standing up for yourself and allowing yourself to be diminished and used and put down, if you're ignoring red flags in romantic relationships, then you probably are doing that in other areas of your life. And so the best good thing that can come from a bad breakup is once you've gone through this and you decided, okay, I'm no longer going to diminish myself. I'm going to work on my self-esteem. I'm going to work on my self-worth. Then I'm going to take what I went through in this situation and take this pain and bring purpose out of it. There's a reason why this happened. It may not have been God's best for you. He definitely didn't want you to go through any unnecessary heartache and trials and tribulation, but God has a way of redeeming and restoring. He has a way of redeeming the time. He has a way of restoring what you lost, the time that you feel like you wasted in a dead-end relationship. God has a way of redeeming that. How does he redeem it? He turns it around for his good. According to Romans 8:28, he works all things together for good. Amen. And so there's a reason for this. Your purpose is going to show up in 2 ways. It's either going to manifest through your pain or it's going to manifest through your passion. And actually, it's a third way, through both. It's either going to show up through something that you endured in a state of pain and you can birth purpose from that, or it's going to come through your passion, or it's going to come from a combination of both. And that's what it was for me. The pain that I endured as a result of a dead-end marriage, as a result of going through a dead-end relationship after the marriage, and all of the different things that I have learned in those things and the lessons my soul needed to learn to be rooted, grounded, fixed, and founded in the love of God. All of that in combination with my passion for speaking and for writing and for teaching, all of that came together to what you see here on today. And God may have that for you. And so, within the context of this relationship breakup, a good thing that can happen is for you to ask yourself this question: what is it, and what in the world in this situation that I would never, ever, ever want another human being to feel? What in this situation would I would never want another human to feel? What is the biggest lesson that I have learned as a result of being in this situation that could bring somebody else hope, help, and healing? Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself. And you ask God, let not one bit of this pain from this hell that I went through in this jacked up situation go to waste. Because see, the pain that you've gone through, and like I've said before, pain is an indicator. Pain is a teacher. It doesn't come to stay, it comes to pass through. So the best thing we can do is convert that pain to purpose. We want to give God beauty for those ashes. And see, we want to hang on to the ashes of that relationship. And what are those ashes? Potential, the false hope, what we thought it was going to be, the fantasy, what we felt like it was, all of the unrealistic expectations and built up dreams and what we felt. We got to grieve that stuff. Let the pain of it pass through us. And then we got to release those ashes. What happens is we never release the ashes. And God is like, baby, give me those ashes and I'll give you beauty for those ashes. But you need to give up those ashes. You can't build and be in position for healthy love going forward until you extract the good things, all of those lessons that you learned, release those ashes, let God give you beauty for those ashes. And now you can build a healthy, wholesome, mature relationship, mature love based on the wisdom that you learned from those good things and no longer have to hang on to those ashes. Because if you're hanging on to the ashes, you're not going to recover and you will repeat the same cycle. 5 good things that can come from a bad breakup. I'm Tanika Maria, and I'm all about helping you get real, be healed, and move forward in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. I desire for you to walk in emotional healing, mastery, and resiliency, to have healthy and wholesome relationships. Join me in the journey. Check out my links in my bio. I have an amazing lineup of summer classes for you. And follow me here on YouTube, subscribe, make sure you hit the button to get the notifications. And I'll be back out here next week with more for you. Take care and God bless you. Take care.